As the late afternoon sun dipped below the skyline of Neo-Tokyo, the city's usual hum was shattered by an extraordinary event. High above the bustling streets, a brilliant rift tore through the clear blue sky, startling onlookers and halting traffic. From this celestial fissure, a vessel unlike any terrestrial craft descended gracefully, alighting upon the verdant grass of Ueno Park. Inside the command center of the Tokyo Metropolitan Police, Chief Inspector Sato and his team were already monitoring the situation. "What's the status?" Sato asked, his voice steady, betraying none of his astonishment. "It's definitely not one of ours, sir," replied Lieutenant Haruto, his eyes fixed on the screen displaying multiple angles of the alien craft. Meanwhile, the crowd around the park swelled, their smartphones raised to capture the historic moment. Among them was Leo Tanaka, a young diplomat known for his skills in crisis management and negotiation. As the vessel's doors opened with a soft hiss, he pushed through the crowd, his credentials already in hand. Stepping out from the ship were two figures: Zara, a tall alien princess with luminescent skin and piercing silver eyes, and her daughter Lyra, who clung to her mother's side, looking around with a mix of fear and curiosity. Leo approached cautiously, his hand extended in peace. "Welcome to Earth. I'm Leo Tanaka, appointed to assist you." Zara's gaze met his, her expression tense yet composed. "I am Zara of Draxos. This is my daughter, Lyra. We seek refuge and protection," she said, her voice carrying an accent of unknown melodies. "Protection? From what, may I ask?" Leo inquired, maintaining a diplomatic tone while subtly signaling the police to stand down. "From the factions that would use us as mere pawns in their power plays," Zara replied, her eyes darting around, taking in the crowd and the array of technology aimed at her. Leo nodded, understanding the gravity of her statement. "Let's find a more private place to talk," he suggested, leading them towards a secluded area of the park, away from prying eyes and eager cameras. As they walked, Chief Inspector Sato joined them, his curiosity piqued. "Mr. Tanaka, a word, please," Sato interjected, falling in step with them. "Inspector, this is Princess Zara and her daughter Lyra. They're requesting asylum," Leo explained briefly. Sato assessed the visitors with a practiced eye. "I understand. We'll ensure your safety while you're here," he assured Zara, showing the formal politeness through the situation. "Thank you, Chief Inspector. Your hospitality is much appreciated," Zara responded, her tone softening a little as Lyra looked up at the tall buildings and the gathering dusk. Once in a secure tent set up by the authorities, Leo sat with Zara and Lyra. "Tell me everything. Why choose Earth?" "Why now?" he asked gently. Zara sighed, Lyra squeezing her hand. "Draxos is in turmoil. My status as a royal has made us targets. We escaped under great risk because I believe in finding a peaceful life for my daughter," she shared, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. Leo listened intently, his mind already racing through potential diplomatic channels and solutions. "We will do everything we can to help. You are not alone here," he reassured her, his voice firm yet kind. "Thank you, Leo. I dared to hope," Zara murmured, allowing herself a moment of relief in the safety of their newfound sanctuary. As they continued to discuss their options, a plan began to form, one that would require all of Leo's skills and resources. But for now, Zara and Lyra were safe, and that was what mattered. The sun had set completely now, casting long shadows over the park and turning the sky to a dark canvas, against which the stars began to appear, reminding everyone present of the vast, shared universe to which they all belonged. The secure tent buzzed with activity as Leo Tanaka organized a meeting with key advisors and diplomats. He had invited Dr. Henry Akita, an expert in extraterrestrial relations, and Kenji Yamamoto, a senior government liaison, to discuss the best approach for Zara and Lyra's situation. As they gathered around the conference table, Leo briefed them on the basics. Zara and her daughter come from Draxos, a planet currently torn by political strife. They seek asylum here on Earth. Dr. Akita, intrigued, leaned forward. "What can you tell us about Draxos' civilization? Understanding their culture and technology could provide us with valuable insights." Zara, sensing their genuine interest, replied, "Draxos is much like your Earth in many ways, though advanced in areas of energy and space travel. However, our societal structures are fragmented, with power often changing hands at great cost. Kinji, taking notes, asked, "What exactly are the dangers you're fleeing from? It's crucial we understand the threats to properly assess your asylum claim. There are those who wish to control the royal lineage, to manipulate it for their own gain," Zara explained. "My daughter and I are direct descendants of a powerful line, and thus we are targets." Leo nodded, processing the information. "Your safety is our priority. Henry, what are your thoughts on the cultural integration aspects?" Dr. Akita pondered for a moment. "It will be challenging but not impossible. We'll need to educate them about Earth while learning from them as well. Cultural exchange can be quite beneficial." As the discussion turned to practical matters, Leo looked to Zara. "We'll need to establish a temporary residence for you and Lyra, somewhere discreet and secure. Kinji, could you coordinate with the local authorities?" Kinji agreed. "I'll make arrangements. We have a few safe houses that are not currently in use. They could be ideal." Zara, who had been listening intently, added, "We wish to cause no disruption. We are here seeking peace, not to bring our troubles to your doorstep." Leo smiled reassuringly. "You have brought us a remarkable opportunity to help and learn. It's not a disruption but a chance to extend our world." The meeting continued with discussions on security measures, educational programs for Lyra, and medical assessments for both guests. Each man at the table was committed to ensuring the smooth transition of the alien visitors into their new temporary life on Earth. As the meeting drew to a close, Leo stood and offered his hand to Zara. "We will start first thing tomorrow. Rest now, you are safe here." Zara accepted his hand, her expression one of gratitude. "Thank you, Leo, and to all of you. Your kindness is more than I dared to expect." Dr. Akita nodded. "It's not just kindness, Princess Zara. It's an acknowledgement that in the cosmos, we are all connected." They all agreed to reconvene the next day, leaving Zara and Lyra to their thoughts and the quiet of the night, which, for the first time in a long while, promised them a semblance of peace. The stars overhead twinkled, silent witnesses to their new beginning on a foreign yet welcoming planet. Leo Tanaka arrived early at the safe house, a modest two-story building nestled in a quiet Tokyo suburb, chosen for its privacy and security. Accompanying him were Kinji Yamamoto and Dr. Henry Akita, both eager to assist in the day-to-day transition of Zara and Lyra. The morning was crisp, the air fresh with the scent of blooming sakura. As they walked up the pathway, Leo briefed his colleagues. "Our primary goal is to make Zara and Lyra feel at home while we sort through the diplomatic necessities of their asylum." Kinji, who carried a folder filled with local school information and community resources, nodded. "I've arranged for a tutor to start with Lyra next week. She'll need to catch up on language skills primarily," Dr. Akita added, "and I've contacted cultural integration specialists. They suggest regular sessions with Zara to help her understand Earth's societal norms and laws." The door opened to reveal Zara, looking more at ease in a simple Earth-style dress, her daughter beside her. Lyra's eyes were wide with a mixture of curiosity and shyness as she observed the new faces. "Good morning," Leo greeted warmly. "We've brought some friends to help us all get acquainted with your new environment." Zara smiled, a hint of relief in her expression. "Good morning. We appreciate your assistance." They all stepped inside, and Leo began the tour of the house, explaining the various amenities. Dr. Akita pointed out the communication devices installed for Zara to use, ensuring she felt connected and secure. Kinji, meanwhile, knelt down to Lyra's level. "We've got some books and materials for you to start learning about our planet. And there's a park nearby. Maybe later, we can go see it?" Lyra nodded, her interest piqued at the mention of the park. As they settled into the living room, Leo discussed their next steps. "We need to establish a routine for you and Lyra, one that includes learning, relaxation, and exploration of your new surroundings." Zara listened intently, then spoke. "I am particularly interested in your planet's governance and peaceful conflict resolution methods. It's crucial for us to understand these aspects deeply." Dr. Akita was pleased. "That's an excellent area to start. I can arrange lectures and provide materials on political science and ethics as you wish." Kinji chimed in. "And for Lyra, We'll make sure the learning is fun and engaging. We can include visits to science museums and cultural sites when you're ready. The morning progressed with detailed planning, each man contributing his expertise to ensure the aliens' comfort and adaptation. They discussed everything from local cuisine, which they promised to introduce slowly, to emergency protocols, ensuring Zara knew how to contact them at any time. As the meeting drew to a close, Leo proposed a welcome dinner for the upcoming weekend. It'll be casual, just a few of us and some traditional Japanese dishes. A small step towards making you feel part of the community. Zara expressed her gratitude. Thank you, Leo. And thank you all. Your efforts to accommodate us are more than we expected. We are eager to learn and hopefully, in time, contribute. As they left, Leo felt a profound sense of responsibility mixed with optimism. Helping Zara and Lyra wasn't just about fulfilling a duty. It was about bridging worlds and cultures in a way that enriched all involved. He looked forward to seeing how their journey would unfold, hopeful about the mutual understanding and friendship that lay ahead. The early weeks of Zara and Lyra's integration into Earth's society passed in a flurry of activities and learning. Leo Tanaka was frequently at their side, sometimes accompanied by Dr. Henry Akita or Kinji Yamamoto, ensuring the transition was as smooth as possible. One evening, as the sun set casting a warm glow over the city, Leo invited Zara and Lyra to a quiet dinner at his apartment to take a break from the usual sessions and meetings. He wanted to give them a glimpse into his world, sharing part of his life beyond the formalities of their situation. "Welcome to my home," Leo said as he opened the door, leading them into a cozy, softly lit living room filled with books and personal artifacts. Zara looked around, visibly relaxed in the informal setting. "It's very welcoming, Leo. Thank you for having us." Leo smiled and led them to the dining area where a spread of homemade Japanese dishes awaited. "I hope you like it." I tried to choose dishes that are easy on the palate for newcomers. As they sat down, Lyra's eyes sparkled with curiosity at the array of colors and smells. "What's that one?" She pointed at a dish. "That's called nikujiga. It's a sweet and savory dish of meat and potatoes," Leo explained, serving her a small portion. Throughout the meal, they talked about various topics: Lyra's schooling, Zara's ongoing cultural sessions, and more mundane subjects like music and movies. After dinner, they moved back to the living room. Leo noticed Zara looking at a set of old photographs on the shelf. "Those are pictures from my travels and some of my family," he explained. Zara picked up a photo of Leo at a famous Earth landmark. "You've seen so much of your world," she remarked. "Yes, I've been fortunate. But I'm always amazed at how much more there is to see and learn. Even from new friends," Leo said, glancing at Zara and Lyra with a warm smile. Zara returned his smile. "Perhaps one day, you could show us some of these places." "I'd like that," Leo replied. "Speaking of learning, how are you finding Earth so far? Anything particularly challenging?" Adjusting her seating, Zara thought for a moment. "Understanding all the nuances of human interaction is complex. Your emotions, for instance, are quite expressive and varied." Leo nodded. "Yes, emotions can be complicated even for us. It's all about context and history." Their conversation deepened, touching on topics of human psychology and Draxian sociology. Zara was keen to understand the emotional underpinnings of human relationships, which she found fascinating yet bewildering at times. Seeing her interest, Leo suggested, "Maybe you'd like to join me at a university lecture next week? It's about human behavioral studies." Zara was intrigued. "I would appreciate that. It's crucial for us to grasp these concepts." As the evening wound down, Lyra, who had been quietly drawing in a corner, came over and showed them her artwork. It was a picture of Earth and Draxos side by side, connected by a bridge. "This is beautiful, Lyra," Leo complimented earnestly. "You have a wonderful imagination." Zara beamed at her daughter. It seems Lyra is already building bridges of her own. They shared a quiet laugh, and as they prepared to leave, Leo felt a profound connection had been established. The night had brought them closer, turning formal allies into genuine friends. "Thank you for this evening, Leo. It's been enlightening and comforting," Zara said as they stood at the door. "My pleasure," Leo replied. "Let's keep learning from each other." As they departed, the soft glow of the streetlights illuminated their path, casting long shadows behind them but lighting the way forward. In the quiet of his apartment, Leo reflected on the evening, hopeful about the future and the bridges they would continue to build together. Several weeks after the intimate dinner at his apartment, Leo Tanaka found himself increasingly involved in the lives of Zara and her daughter Lyra. His days were filled with meetings and discussions about their integration, but his evenings often drifted towards more personal interactions with them. Tonight was no different. Leo had invited Zara to join him for a walk through one of Tokyo's renowned botanical gardens, a place where Earth's beauty was showcased through meticulous care and diverse flora. As they strolled along the softly lit paths, Leo pointed out various plants, explaining their origins and significance. This one here, he paused beside a vibrant flowering bush, is called a camellia. It's admired for its beauty and resilience in colder weather. Zara touched the petals gently, her curiosity piqued. It's beautiful. Draxos has similar species, though adapted to our climates. It's fascinating to see how life finds a way to flourish everywhere. Leo smiled, watching her interest. It's one of the reasons I love this place. It reminds us of the diversity and adaptability of nature. They continued walking, the air filled with the subtle fragrance of flowers and the calming sound of water trickling from a nearby fountain. The serene environment seemed to encourage openness, and Leo felt it was the right moment to delve deeper into their burgeoning relationship. Zara, how have you been feeling about everything? The transition, Earth? Us spending time together like this? Leo asked gently. Zara glanced at him, a softness in her eyes. I've been surprised. Everything on Earth is so different. Yet there's a warmth here, not just from you, but from the people we've met. And these moments with you, they're a comfort. Leo's heart quickened a beat at her words. I'm glad to hear that. I've enjoyed our time together too. It's been enlightening, learning about Draxos from you, sharing parts of my world with you. Their conversation paused as they reached a quiet pond, the moon reflecting off the water's surface. They stood side by side, watching the peaceful scene. Zara broke the silence, her voice thoughtful. On Draxos, sharing knowledge is considered one of the highest forms of connection. What we've shared, it feels significant. It does, Leo agreed, turning to face her. And I think there's more we can explore, more we can learn from each other. Zara met his gaze, a trace of anticipation mingling with apprehension. What exactly do you mean, Leo? Taking a deep breath, Leo closed the distance between them slightly. I mean that I'd like to explore where this connection could go, not just as friends or as a host and guest, but maybe something more. Zara's breath caught, and for a moment, she looked away, lost in thought. Then, slowly, she faced him again, her expression resolute. I feel a pull too, Leo. I've been trying to understand it, this mixture of feelings you evoke in me. It's unfamiliar, but not unwelcome. Encouraged, Leo reached out to take her hand, his touch gentle. Let's explore it together then, without expectations, without pressure. Just see where our paths might lead. Zara's hand trembled slightly in his, but she didn't pull away. Instead, she squeezed his hand, her voice barely above a whisper. Yes, let's do that. They resumed walking, hands still joined, their steps slow as they navigated through the winding garden paths. The conversation shifted to lighter topics, but the agreement between them was palpable, charging the cool night air with a new sense of possibility. As the evening drew to a close, and they headed back towards the city, both felt a subtle shift in their relationship. What had begun as a duty to assist had blossomed into a genuine exploration of hearts, under the quiet witness of Earth's natural beauty. As the relationship between Leo and Zara deepened, Leo found himself more involved in not just Zara's adaptation to Earth, but also in her daughter Lyra's transition into her new life. Today, he had arranged a special outing for Lyra that would include a visit to one of Tokyo's most interactive science museums, hoping it would spark joy and curiosity in the young girl. Leo and Kenji Yamamoto met Zara and Lyra outside their residence, where Kenji, ever prepared, held a backpack filled with snacks and a digital camera to capture the day's memories. Ready for an adventure, Lyra? Leo asked with a smile, kneeling to be at eye level with her. Lyra nodded, her eyes bright. Yes. Mom said we're going to see robots. That's right, Kinji chimed in, ruffling her hair playfully. And not just any robots, but the ones that can talk and play games with you. The group made their way to the museum, where interactive exhibits awaited. Lyra's enthusiasm was infectious, and even Zara, usually more reserved, couldn't help but share in her daughter's excitement. As they approached the robotics section, a museum guide greeted them. Welcome. Would you like to start with a demonstration of our latest interactive AI? Lyra clapped her hands eagerly, and they were soon watching a robot perform tasks, solve puzzles, and respond to voice commands. Lyra laughed and clapped, trying to interact with it, her initial shyness forgotten. Leo watched them, a warm feeling spreading through him. Turning to Zara, he remarked, "She's really taken to everything here." Zara smiled, watching her daughter. She's always been curious. It's a relief to see her so happy, so engaged. As the day progressed, they explored more exhibits, virtual reality experiences that allowed them to travel through the solar system, and holographic displays explaining the laws of physics. Kinji and Leo took turns explaining things to Lyra, who absorbed every word. At one display, a large holographic Earth spun slowly before them. Lyra reached out her hand as if to touch it. "It's like Draxos, but so different," she mused aloud. "That's the beauty of it," Leo said. "Every world has its unique aspects, but there's a lot we share, too. Like curiosity and the quest for knowledge." Lyra looked up at him, then at her mother. "Can we learn about Draxos here too?" Zara exchanged a glance with Leo. "Perhaps one day," they'll add it. "For now, we can make our own little exhibit at home. What do you think?" Lyra's face lit up. "Yes, we can show everyone how Draxos is." The outing ended with ice cream and laughter, the evening air cool as they strolled back. Lyra's hand was firmly grasped in her mother's, her other hand holding a toy robot they had bought at the gift shop. "Today was fun," Lyra said sleepily as they neared their home. "It was," Zara agreed, her voice soft. "Thank you, Leo, Kinji, for everything today." "It was our pleasure," Kinji replied, smiling. Seeing her so happy, it's a reminder of why we do what we do. Leo nodded, feeling the truth of Kinji's words. "Let's plan more days like this." Zara nodded, her grateful gaze meeting Leo's. "Yes, let's." As they parted ways at the door, Leo felt a sense of contentment. His relationship with Zara might be growing into something beautiful, but today had been about Lyra, about giving her a glimpse of the wonders of her new world. It was a good day, a foundation for many such days to come. As the seasons changed in Tokyo, so too did the lives of Zara, Lyra, and Leo. The bond between Leo and Zara had blossomed into a deep, unmistakable love, a fact neither could deny. Meanwhile, Lyra had adapted wonderfully, thriving in her new school and community, but Zara's heart remained torn between her duty to her home planet and her new life on Earth. One brisk autumn evening, Leo invited Zara to a quiet, intimate dinner at his apartment to discuss something important. As Zara arrived, she found the apartment softly lit with candles, the aroma of cooked spices wafting through the air. "Leo, this is lovely," Zara commented as she entered, her eyes taking in the effort he had put into making the evening special. "I wanted it to be a peaceful place for us to talk," Leo replied, guiding her to the dining table where 2 plates were already set. As they began their meal, the conversation naturally drifted to their relationship and the future. "Zara, these past months with you and Lyra have been some of the happiest of my life," Leo started, his voice carrying a seriousness that caught Zara's attention. "Leo, Zara paused, searching for the right words. "I feel the same. You and Earth have given us so much." Leo took a deep breath before continuing. "I know the situation on Draxos has stabilized somewhat. You might be considering returning to claim your rightful place." Zara nodded slowly, her expression conflicted. "It's true. The factions have quieted, and there's a part of me that feels obligated to go back, to lead and rebuild. But another part of me, a very real part, sees my future here with you and Lyra." Leo reached across the table, taking her hand in his. "What if you chose to stay? Stay here with us, build a new life not as a princess but as Zara, the woman I love." Zara's eyes glistened with unshed tears as she squeezed his hand. Can I really do that? Abandon my duties? You wouldn't be abandoning them, Zara. You'd be choosing a different path, one that might lead to greater happiness. Draxos will always be a part of you, but it doesn't have to define your entire future. Their conversation deepened, turning to practicalities and implications of her decision. Leo proposed ways they could still aid Draxos, perhaps through diplomatic channels or humanitarian efforts, allowing Zara to contribute without being physically present. As the night wore on, they moved to the living room, sitting close together on the couch. Zara rested her head against Leo's shoulder. I need to think about what's best for Lyra, too. She's so young, yet she's already faced so much upheaval. And she's thriving here, Leo added softly. She's happy, safe, and loved. Isn't that what you always wanted for her? Yes, it is, Zara whispered, the decision seeming clearer in her heart. Maybe my duty now is to her happiness, and our happiness as a family. Leo nodded, feeling a weight lift between them. Let's decide together, as a family. Whatever you choose, I'm with you. They spent the rest of the evening discussing possibilities, dreaming of a future that could be both rewarding and fulfilling, free from the shadows of duty and obligation. As Zara left that night, the crisp air felt invigorating, full of potential. She looked back at Leo, who stood at the door, and felt a surge of love and gratitude. The decision wasn't just about staying or leaving. It was about choosing a life where love was the guiding force. And as she walked away, her steps felt lighter, her heart fuller. Weeks after their heart-to-heart conversation, Zara made her decision public through a broadcast transmitted not only on Earth, but to Draxos as well. Leo stood beside her, offering silent support as she addressed her people in a calm, clear voice. Dear citizens of Draxos and friends here on Earth, I speak to you today not as a princess, but as a fellow being who seeks a path of peace and love, Zara began, her image and words radiating across the airwaves. Leo watched her with pride, admiring the strength it took to stand before two worlds. Many of you know of my journey to Earth, a journey born out of necessity for my daughter's safety and my own. Today, I choose to stay on Earth, to build a life here, where I have found a profound sense of belonging and happiness, Zara continued, her voice steady but full of emotion. Leo, standing just off camera, gave her an encouraging nod. Zara took a breath before speaking again, addressing her next words to her home planet. This decision does not come lightly. Draxos will always be a part of who I am, and I will continue to support our world in any way I can from afar. My hope is that one day, our worlds can learn from each other, in peace and mutual respect. The screen split, showing not just Zara but also scenes of Draxos, its beautiful landscapes and its bustling cities, hinting at a world ripe for change and growth. Turning slightly to include Leo in the frame, Zara took his hand. Here beside me is Leo, who has shown me and my daughter immense kindness and love. He, among many on Earth, has welcomed us with open arms and has shown us that different worlds can indeed live together in harmony. Leo smiled, stepping into view. We, on Earth, are ready to be allies to Draxos, to share knowledge and friendship. Today is just the beginning of what I hope will be a long and fruitful exchange between our peoples. Zara gave a final, heartfelt look into the camera. Thank you to all who have supported us through this journey. We look forward to the days ahead with hope and eagerness to contribute to the prosperity of both Draxos and Earth. The broadcast ended with messages of support and goodwill flooding in from across the galaxy, a testament to the love and respect Zara had earned from her people and her new friends on Earth. In the days that followed, Leo and Zara worked together to establish foundations that would assist Draxian refugees and promote cultural exchanges. Their evenings were spent planning, discussing, and often just enjoying the quiet contentment of their family life with Lyra. One evening, as they watched the sunset from their new home, a comfortable house with a view of Tokyo's skyline, Leo turned to Zara. Do you ever think about what would have happened if you hadn't made that broadcast? Zara leaned against him, her eyes reflecting the orange hues of the setting sun. I think about it, but then I see Lyra playing, hear her laughter, and I know I made the right choice. Leo nodded, his heart full. Our little family is like this sunset, bright, hopeful, and beautiful. They stood together, watching as the sky turned from orange to a deep twilight blue, the stars beginning to twinkle above, much like the stars of Draxos. In this peaceful moment, both Earth and Draxos felt closer than ever, bridged by love and a shared vision for the future. As night fell, Leo, Zara, and Lyra sat down for dinner, talking about their day, their plans for tomorrow, and their dreams for the years to come. The challenges were many, but the possibilities were endless, and together, they were ready to meet them all.